So we know that Disney character meals can either be your best memory from your trip or your worst nightmare. So we've got about a zillion tips and tricks for you all about character meals that we want to share today. So let's get started. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we are going to dive into the world of character meals in Disney World, Disneyland, and anywhere else that they have character meals. These tips will probably apply. Now, we're going to talk about a lot here, so if you do want all of these tips in an easily printable PDF format, head over to disneyfoodblog.com/charactermeal and sign up for our free newsletter, and we will send you immediately this PDF with all of this information I'm about to give you. All right, let's get started. So when you're about to plan those character meals, the first thing you want to know is who you want to meet. Now you're going to be sure to review your options before you make your advanced dining reservation so you know who you're likely to meet at each meal. Remember, if your kids only like face characters are characters that talk to you, you will not want to go to Crystal Palace where it's only Pooh and friends who can't talk to you. So definitely look at all of those character meals. We've got them all listed over on Disney Food Blog, and you can see who's at which character meal, so determine where you want to go. Chef Mickey's is the quintessential character meal where you can meet the Fab Five in a classic Disney Resort hotel, complete with the monorail running by overhead. But remember that Chef Mickey's is huge, it's very, very loud, there's not a whole lot of atmosphere, and the food isn't all that great. So you can meet a lot of the Fab Five at several other character meals, and those might work out better for you. Places like Garden Grill, where you have a family-style meal, the restaurant's much smaller, and you get to meet Mickey, Pluto, Chip, and Dale, and they will come around to your table multiple times too because the restaurant is so much smaller, whereas at Chef Mickey's, you're probably only going to see those characters once, and you may have to wait quite a while to see everybody. Another good option is Tusker House over in Animal Kingdom. That's pretty much the Fab Five, and the food is really a whole lot better than what you're going to get at Chef Mickey's. Just because Aunt Susan says you have to go to Chef Mickey's doesn't mean you have to go to Chef Mickey's. You can find better food and all the same characters at other locations. Something else to note when you're trying to figure out who you want to meet at your character meal. Very few character meals offer meet and greets with princes. So if you do have a Prince fan, and we're not talking about Raspberry Beret, we're talking about Disney princes. If you have a Prince fan, opt for 1900 Park Fare for dinner, where you can see Prince Charming with Cinderella, or Trattoria Al Forno's Bon Voyage breakfast. Now this one is over by the Boardwalk Resort, and there you're going to meet Ariel and Prince Eric and Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. So you do get a couple of princes in that particular character meal. Now, if you want to meet rare characters like the Seven Dwarfs or the Evil Queen from Snow White, you can meet them at the Storybook Dining at Artist Point. That's the only place you're going to be able to meet Dopey, Grumpy, and the Evil Queen all together consistently. Now, you can meet Dopey and Grumpy and the Evil Queen at some special events around Disney World, but Artist Point is the only place you're going to meet them on the regular basis. Other rare characters include Lady Tremaine, who of course is Cinderella's stepmother, and her stepsisters. You will find them at 1900 Park Fare for dinner, and they're so much fun. They're very, very funny. And you can also, for breakfast at 1900 Park Fare, meet Alice and the Mad Hatter, which is really fun as well. So be sure to check around some of those character meals and find those rare characters that you want to meet that you maybe aren't going to see out in the parks all the time. And finally, in this section, note that Hollywood and Vine offers two dining experiences. Hollywood and Vine is over there in Hollywood Studios, and it offers two different dining experiences. For breakfast, you're going to meet Disney Junior characters. So this is where you're going to want to take your little ones, your toddlers, the ones that are staring at the TV watching Disney Junior all the time while you're doing the dishes or whatever else you're doing at home. Then in the afternoon and evening at Hollywood and Vine, you're going to meet those Fab Five, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy. Well, I guess it's not the whole Fab Five because you're missing Pluto in this one, but they're going to be there for the different themed dinners in the afternoon and evening at Hollywood and Vine. Now, once you've figured out generally who you want to meet, you're going to start thinking about where you're going to go. So here are some tips around character meals that you're going to eat with your family. So if you have family members with you, including little ones, look for a family-style service option. And you've heard me say this on the channel before. Family-style service means that they're going to bring the food to your table. You don't have to get up and go to a buffet. So look for a family-style service option instead of a buffet if you have those littles. That way you don't have to keep getting up, going to the buffet, and then resettling handling the kiddos. You don't have to have one parent stay back with the kids while the other parent goes and balances 14 plates on their arms trying to bring everything back. Everyone just stays put and all the food comes to you. It's a lot easier to handle when you've got little kids, especially if you're an adult alone with little kids. Definitely consider that as well. Now, if you're not sure how your kids will handle meeting characters, try a meet and greet or two in the park before you head to an expensive character meal. Or if you're going to Disney World for the first time and you're not sure how they're going to meet characters, see if you can find some characters around your neighborhood. Yeah, I'm picturing like Mickey wandering around your block or something. But see if you can find some characters at a local mall or a local theme park, or maybe even mascots at a local ballpark or something like that for your kids to meet, and see how they react. See if they're scared of those characters or if they're able to interact with them and be just fine. And if they don't work well with the characters, that's okay. Just cancel your character meal and you can make a new plan. But be sure to keep in mind Disney's cancellation window. So that's usually a 24-hour cancellation window ahead of your reservation, or you're going to be charged $10 per person for that late cancellation. So just keep that in mind, but have your kids meet a couple of characters before you head into a character meal so you're not paying those big bucks if they're not even going to pose for a picture. Now, if you have someone who loves princesses, there's always going to be Cinderella's Royal Table, which is a must-do for princess fans. This one is inside Cinderella Castle in the Magic Kingdom. It's an epic adventure. The food isn't always the greatest, but it is a really fun time. And what's really cool here is there's a wishing star ceremony, and that's a fun experience. Kids receive a silver wishing star at the table, and during the meal, special effects and an announcement inspire kids and their grown-ups to make a wish, so that's kind of nice. Now, if you've got teenagers or older kids who are maybe too cool to meet the characters, maybe consider going to a buffet character meal where that will give them sort of an out, so when the characters come around, they can get up and go to the buffet instead of hanging out at the table. I don't know why you would want to leave the table when the character's coming, but who knows? Sometimes kids are weird, right? There you go. And the next thing to note when you've got your kids with you at the character meals, don't ask a character to hold your baby. They're not allowed to hold your baby. They are trained to put their arms behind their back so that they can't hold your baby. So please don't give your baby to a character. Now, if you want to go to a character meal without kids, that's totally okay. I've been to a ton of them, and the characters are super cool with it because they see it all the time. And plenty of grown-ups love meeting characters even if they aren't traveling with kids. So don't worry about it at all. Definitely go to character meals if you want to, whether you have kids or not. However, it can get a little weird if you don't know how to talk to characters. So if you're a little uncertain how to begin a conversation with a Disney character, try coming up with some topics of conversation ahead of time. Think about their story in their particular movie or their film. You can ask them anything about their story. They're, of course, going to answer based on their story. So you can talk to Cinderella about her shoes. You can talk to Snow White about apples. I'm sure you'll get some really funny answers. Also, if they're wearing a cool costume, you can comment about their costume, or you can wear an article of clothing that maybe will get them to talk to you about it. So if you have a picture of that character on your shirt, if you're wearing a special Disney hat or something like that, they may comment about your outfit, and that can get the ball rolling as well to have a little conversation. Now, don't fret about getting a picture of yourself with the characters. Just ask the character's handler to snap a few pics while you're chatting. That's totally fine. They do it all the time. And if you're celebrating a special occasion at the parks, wear your special occasion pin. So your birthday pin, your engagement pin, your honeymoon pin, whatever, your celebrate pin. Characters might notice and give you some fun feedback or a little good-natured harassment if you're meeting Lady Tremaine. Now, if you've outgrown an autograph book, and that's okay if you haven't, that's all right to bring your autograph book, consider bringing something else for characters to sign. A good idea is a picture frame mat that you can use to display your character pics, or a special shot from your trip when you get home. That's a fun thing for them to sign. And always remember, when you're meeting characters, bring a Sharpie, because Sharpies make for the best signatures, and they're also easy for those gloved characters to hold. Now, here's a few tips for getting the most out of your meets, your character meet and greets, that is. Keep an eye on those characters so you're not up at the buffet when they come around, and your server can also help you time this. Ask them when the characters are going to come around so that you're not up at the buffet when that's going to happen. But if you do happen to miss a character, just ask your server to let them know, and they'll come back around to see you. And just so you know, the characters have a typical rotation that they follow. They have a spot they go to for their special dance break. So if your kid has a favorite character, ask to to be sat in the area where that character dances. So if you're at Chef Mickey's or Tusker House, you can say, hey, we really like Mickey. We'd love to be sat in Mickey's dance break area. Now, this one is super, super important. Please remember that some characters have a hard time seeing peripherally. So direct your kiddos to stand right in front of the characters and try not to let them blindside them or run into them from the back or from the side. Sometimes they can't see except directly in front of them. So if your kid wants to talk to the character, have them stand directly in front of the character. That's going to make it a lot more easy. And if you're planning pictures with the characters, be clear about what you want for those pictures so that the character handler and the character themselves understand. For example, you would want to say, hey, Mickey, we're going to take pictures with each child and then we're going to take a picture as a family. Is that okay? And then Mickey can nod his head and make sure that you're both on the same page and you know what to expect. So Mickey doesn't walk off after the pictures with the kids when you guys want a picture with your whole family as well. So be very clear with the characters what you're looking to do, and then the character handler can also help by taking those shots for you. And remember, some characters have autograph cards and don't sign autograph books, so let your kids know ahead of time just in case. Some characters aren't going to be able to sign your autograph book, or they're going to have a stamp or something like that, and that's just their autograph. That's how they sign, so that's how that's going to go. And if there's somebody in your family who maybe needs a little bit of a calmer experience, something where there's not a whole lot of noise, a whole lot of music, a lot of dancing, a lot of napkin twirling, which is a thing in Disney World, consider going to Garden Grill again. Garden Grill in the Land Pavilion in Epcot tends to be calmer than the other character meals. There's fewer people, it's a smaller restaurant, and you do get to see those characters pretty regularly. They come around a couple of times. Also, the food is served family style, so you don't need to worry about getting up and going to a buffet. Okay, next let's consider restaurant location. Where the restaurant is always going to make a big difference depending on where you are that day for your park day. So consider the location of your character meal. You may like to book one right in your own resort if possible, so you don't have to travel elsewhere bright and early. That's a good early morning option, especially if you're having a sleep-in day or a resort day. Go to a character meal in your resort, or choose a character meal close to the park you'll be spending the day in to keep it convenient and reduce travel time. A great tip that a lot of people use is booking a character meal in the park for before park opening. This means you get in before anybody else gets into the park, and you'll enjoy some really low crowd levels and may score some great pictures in an empty theme park. It's really, really fun. Plus, after breakfast, you will be inside the park and nobody else will be, which means you can get to those top tier attractions much faster than everyone else. Good options for these are Cinderella's Royal Table in the Magic Kingdom, Crystal Palace in the Magic Kingdom, and of course, Akershus in Epcot, which puts you right next to Frozen Ever After. And that means you can get to Frozen Ever After before anybody else. Another good one, of course, Tusker House in Animal Kingdom, which gets you closer to Navi River Journey, and Flight of Passage in Pandora. Next thing you want to do, watch your budget. If you are paying out of pocket, choose a breakfast character meal. It'll cost a lot less in most cases than lunch and dinner character meals, and you're more likely to feel like you got your money's worth if you go to a breakfast character meal. You get to see all the same characters most of the time. There are a few restaurants where characters change, like 1900 Park Fair and Hollywood and Vine, but most of those character dining experiences have the same characters, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And also remember that when a kiddo is under 3 years old, they can eat for free at buffets and share when a meal is served family style, so you don't have to worry about paying for your under 3-year-olds. And another thing that's important to remember when you're on a budget, some character meals require payment when you make your advanced dining reservation, so you have to pay for them ahead of time. Even if you're not going to Disney World for 6 months, you still have to pay for them when you book. Those include super fancy locations like Cinderella's Royal Table, so try to avoid those if you have young kids whose needs might require you to cancel the meal, and it's very unlikely you'll be able to reschedule, so you'll be out quite a lot of money if you cancel it at the last minute. And while those restaurants do have cancellation policies, usually they're not last minute enough that if you need to cancel because someone needs a nap or someone's melting down, you're going to get your money back. Now, what about the food? Character meals usually are not known for the best food in Disney World, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go to them. Sometimes you can have a great experience even though the food isn't wonderful. This is how I feel about Cinderella's Royal Table. I don't think the food is excellent. It's getting better though, I will say it's getting better, but the food isn't excellent, but still the experience of meeting all of those princesses and dining in the castle is something that I think is worth the money. But here are a few more tips about the food specifically at character meals. Some buffets have famous Disney foods like strawberry soup at 1900 Park Fair, and puffed French toast at Crystal Palace. So read the reviews ahead of time so you'll know what not to miss. And of course, we've eaten at all of these locations, so you don't have to. So we've made sure to tell you what's good, what's bad, what you want to eat, what you want to try when you go to these locations in our reviews on Disney Food Blog. And for food that suits everyone, from adventurous to picky eaters, Tusker House offers some interesting African-inspired dishes like coconut sweet potato casserole, in addition to standard buffet fare like Mickey waffles. So that gives a little something for everybody. Now for food that's fun and thematic, book the Bon Voyage breakfast at Trattoria Al Forno over at the Boardwalk Resort. These are pastries and entrees themed to The Little Mermaid and Tangled. So if you've got kiddos who love those movies, or if you love those movies, that's a must-do for you. And of course, remember that Ohana and Garden Grill offer the Disney famous Pog Juice, which is pineapple orange guava juice. Speaking of Ohana, it is known for its family-style dinner, but breakfast at Ohana is a completely different experience. So breakfast is a character meal, and Lilo and Stitch make the rounds with Mickey and Pluto, and food is standard breakfast fare, including Mickey waffles. This is a bright, fun, and warm meal in a stunning resort you'll love to explore. So we love recommending Ohana for breakfast because the food is really pretty good and you get a great experience. It's also family style, so you don't have to worry about getting up and going to a buffet. Now, if you're on the Disney dining plan, inquire about alcoholic and specialty beverages even at buffets. Often you'll be able to receive a standard beverage as well as a specialty beverage like the color changing or cotton candy drinks at Storybook Dining at Artist Point when you're on the Disney dining plan. So here are a few more tips and tricks. These are miscellaneous tips we wanted to make sure you had about character meals. First up, a strategic character meal might allow you to free up a fast pass. So if you only need to meet the Fab Five once, you won't need a fast pass for Epcot's character spot or Mickey's Meet in the Magic Kingdom. So consider your character meal also your autograph hunting outing, and then you don't have to go see those characters again in the parks. And you don't have to wait in those lines, and that's a great time savings. Also, some character meals offer a nighttime spectacular package. So Tusker House has an option for the Rivers of Light dining package, while Hollywood and Vine offers a dining package for Fantasmic. And this is a great way to save yet another fast pass and meet some cool characters at the same time. Here you're bundling meeting characters, eating, and getting VIP seating for that evening spectacular. Now, if you're having trouble scoring an advanced dining reservation at some of those headliner character meals like Chef Mickey's, others may be easier to get. Again, try Garden Grill, try Cape May Cafe in the Beach Club, where you get to meet Minnie and her friends. And even try Trattoria Al Forno, because that's not in the park and a lot of people don't even realize that it's there. And remember, for the super popular character meals, Cinderella's Royal Table, Chef Mickey's, you're going to want to book that at 180 days out. So definitely get on the horn and book that 6 months in advance. So there's all of our tips, or a lot of our tips. I should never say all because we keep finding new tips every day for character meals in Disney World and Disneyland, and really anywhere else that there are character meals. You can use a lot of these tips. So let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What are your memories from character meals? What are some times that they've been absolute nightmares for you? We definitely want to hear from you. And when you guys comment, it helps everybody else who's watching the videos because they get the benefit of your experience too. So remember, if you want this full list in PDF form that you can print out and bring with you as you're planning, go ahead and head over to disneyfoodblog.com/charactermeal and sign up for our free newsletter, and we'll send you the PDF immediately to your email. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching, you guys. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of our family, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so we can let you know the next time a DFB guide video goes up. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.